Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Today's adventure will begin at Osceola County Stadium, where in the mid to late 90s, I went to many a baseball game and even worked part-time selling hot dogs and soda when the Houston Astros Major League Baseball team spring trained here. They no longer do that. And like a lot of things around here, they have changed up and down the thoroughfare known as Highway 192. I'm gonna go up one end of the road, starting at the threshold of St. Cloud into Kissimmee, up through town, and then back down the other direction. I'm inviting you to join me as we see what has progressed, changed, gone away, and been erased from existence. Shall you? Yep, over 2+ decades ago, I could have been right there behind that concession stand, taking your order. You see the field there, through the little corridor. It was also on this property where I met Yogi Berra when he was coaching for a short time for the Astros. Got a lot of memories around these parts. Rodeo grounds straight ahead there. But back in my day, there was an outdoor rodeo ground that has been torn down right there along the thoroughfare, replaced by this newer one. This bank that sits on the corner of Den John, I can't even tell you the last time this was open. Sitting here empty and non-used for 20+ years, if I had to guess. And the trees out front kind of suit it. They tell the tale. I'm going from here up to 27 and then back down, so we're going to be covering a lot of ground. Focusing on everything this side and then back down the other on the way back. Former 7-Eleven has seen better days. Stopped for gas here many a times. Even the pumps have been removed. Done quite a bit of thrifting inside that Salvation Army. Before that, it was a Scotty's hardware store. This is in the mid-90s, around that time frame. It's been restructured into thrift shop. While I'm in the neighborhood, cruise up here a block or two to one of my former residents. It certainly is a lot nicer than when I lived there, but the top right balcony, that was my place for about 5 years here on Donegan. Wow, a wave of nostalgia just washed over me. This value pawn that sits at the threshold of 3 other similar stores, Cash America and Queen of Pawn, used to be a surf shop themed diner and bar, and out front in what is now the parking lot used to be a beach, and they had a volleyball court, and the volleyball sometimes would go over the exterior of the property and bounce onto the highway over there, stopping traffic. That was a long time ago. Also, I do not recall ever seeing that used as is original purpose of a Taco Bell, right there on the corner of Emory. Not a whole heck of a lot of Kmart's around in this day and age. This was one of 2 in this area. The other, a few miles back, I worked at for half a decade, 5 years. And occasionally they would send me to this location if they needed help. It was a handful of days I clocked in here at this store. But most of the time was at the other one, located at the cross streets of 192 and Simpson Road. Like the other, this became a Big K, which was their version of a super Walmart. They tried to expand and add groceries. It's always fascinating to see little relics there, like the power strip along the sidewalk and a couple of the plug-ins where drink machines and little rides would have been. You put a quarter in and you're in a rocket or on a horse. Down just a few hundred yards to the next corner, this Instalone place used to be a Fazoli's. Maybe 100 or more times I sat right behind those windows, not getting a loan, but having some lasagna and spaghetti. The whole area was my stomping ground. And when I didn't go inside, go through the drive-thru, which was located right here. Drive-up window still intact. Some extra breadsticks, please. That used to be a Target. It was in the same parking lot adjacent to another place I worked for 5 years. I worked at a lot of places for 5 years. Back then, it was an Office Max. Recently, they have been bought out by Office Depot, so hence the name change. Yeah, quite a few years in there, stocking the shelves and working and receiving. Good times. Another former buffet is a pawn shop across the way there that I went to a couple of times, but even more than a couple of times was CC's Pizza. Oh yeah. I have frequented this now closed establishment on more than one occasion. Their buffet used to be $2.99. They raised it to $3.99. Then I think it was $4.49, then $5.99. It's been a while since I've been to a CC's. I think the chain is still going, but this particular one is no more. This used to be a Friendly's. Now it's a liquor store and smoke outlet, but that was a Friendly's for a long time. Don't remember if that was a Waffle House or an IHOP, but it was one of the two. It's been repurposed and is being used for something else at the moment, and has been for a long time. Located just next door to River Adventure Golf, where I also worked part-time. Worked at Kmart full-time during the day, and then miniature golf course that was once here in the evenings. It was a fun job. In a lot of ways, I kind of have this road to thank for the start of my YouTube career well over 10 years ago. Did a lot of content down this thoroughfare. Wouldn't know it by looking at it, but this was Shell World, a very large gift shop that sold only shells. That whole building. Getting into gift shop territory now, the more extravagant looking, the better. Just one of these type of things I enjoy doing a couple times a year when I visit Florida. Reminiscing down this road and seeing what's changed. Looks to be going strong as always. One of the two wizards. Casting some spells. You see the magic protruding up from his hand there. And of course the big orange. A permanent staple around these parts. Fun fact, one of the first times I ever visited Central Florida, we came down to Walt Disney World. We were living, I believe, in Oklahoma. My mom and dad brought my sister and myself down here. We stayed in this motel or hotel. And my sister was very young. She went around to all the doors and removed the do not disturb signs, brought them back to our room. My mom said, go put those back where you found them. And of course, she did not remember where she found them. So she just put them back on just random doors. I don't know why I always remember that when I pass this place. Area in front used to be a very beautiful fountain and a lake themed out, and now it's not. It's just kind of just sitting here as is. Now those accommodations were still open. This one I am approaching has been closed for quite some time. The reason I am driving back around to this section, there's a pool back here with a little shed that was converted into a snack bar that I also worked at. And it's still back there. Wow. It's still there. Would have been around late 90s, early 2000s. Around that time frame. I worked a lot of jobs. This was another part-time one where I worked full-time during the day, and then the evenings would show up here. And my boss, he was it was a very casual as far as when I wanted to arrive. Either he would work, and if I wanted to work, he would go home. So I had a kind of a flexible schedule, and I worked quite a bit. I was probably here 4 to 5 nights a week, sitting right over there. And now it's gone. Well, it's still there, but the business is gone, and the hotel's closed. I have a very funny story. One evening, there were some guests staying here. Some very rowdy fellows who decided to start throwing their friends into the pool. Fully clothed, no bathing suits. Anyone that walked out of those rooms you see over there, they just came down to the little snack area, they would grab them and toss them in the pool. When they ran out of friends to do so, they started doing so with regular guests. And it happened to 3 or 4 people that were just walking around. They would grab them. I hid behind the counter. It sounds very far-fetched, but that's how I remember it. I thought I was gonna, and there was a point I removed my wallet out of my pocket because I thought, what if they climb over the counter and then throw me in the pool? They didn't. But witnessing this event was pretty comical. In those days, Water Mania was still open, which was a water park on the other side of these buildings. That is also long gone. Not sure what's going on with this place over here. It's been empty for a long time as well. Prime real estate just sitting there. For real, aren't some of these gift shop facades amazing? I just love it so much. Dated, but amazing. Some steers have been added here. How's it going, fellas? Oh, be careful. Looks to be a brand new BBQ place behind you. Oh, they placed you here? Well, that's good. Whew. Better to be out front than inside there, right? This gift shop's not even open. You can do a tour for $150 cash. Whoa, there's a bee. Whoa, there was a bee just went right on my forehead. An RV park used to be right over that little embankment. But even on this side, you can see some relics of what once was. A little sidewalk there. Brick porch. Going under Highway 27, where I'll be doing a U-turn and then heading back the other direction. Watch out, little squirrel. Watch out, little squirrel. Some sea lions on the side of this one. Where'd you go, little squirrel? Having a good day? Okay. See ya. I was able to check out this supermarket on one of its last days about 6, 7, 8 months ago or so. It was very uniquely themed inside, but you know, it's just sitting here empty. Wow, I thought for certain they would have removed a lot of these items in here, but no, they're still intact indoors. Check that out. Some of the little figures there up on top of on the balcony. Zoomed in way over there. The last time when I was inside here, I mentioned how I wanted that panda bear, and it's still there. Right there, that panda's still up there. There's the other wizard. Oh yeah, giving me the stare down. It's good to see you, other wizard. I didn't forget about you. Some do, but I never forget the other wizard. A little farther down 192. He's watching over this Shoney's. Well, it was a Shoney's. Ferris wheel at Old Town is moving. Those clouds are looking ominous. Anti-gravity theater has some stuff out front. on the porch. Some seats and mattresses, well, cushions, some sort. Right up here used to be a wing place, and a stage was set up probably 2003, 2004, around that time frame. Stage was set up right here, and a former band I was in from this area performed, punk band performed right here. It's now a barbecue spot. All the crowd was standing right in here, facing the other direction towards the stage. It's amazing what comes back to mind by just driving past, seeing stuff. Good memories. Always makes me happy that this still exists in some form. It was an attraction called, believe it or not, the Haunted Mansion. Didn't last very long because of the same name. Located in the Disney parks just down the road. But they have kept it looking like a castle. Last time I was here, there was a beehive of activity, and one of the workers approached me and said, "No taking photographs, even from the road," which I abided by. I just got one quick angle and moved on. But today, no one here. So I'm just kind of shimmering by here at a slow pace. Way back in the day, they did an appearance. Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface himself, was in there signing some autographs. True story. Used to also live in this neighborhood, rented a house for about a year right down there. You'll notice there are homes on this side, but there also used to be homes on this side of 192. There still is one there, but just past that one you're seeing are all empty lots. Notice driveways are still there. See, the driveways lead to nothing. That now cell phone shop used to be a convenience store I would walk to occasionally and get a beverage or two. I was talking to a friend the other day about Kenny Rogers Roasters, and he was asking if there were any around these parts. In fact, there were. This restaurant here used to be a Kenny Rogers Roasters. Yep. Classic car alert. Nice. Whew, look at that sky up there. Oh man. Gotta love Florida summers. Not looking too pretty. You can hear some thunder kind of roaring over there as well. Got my very first cell phone right there in that storefront back in 2003. I was a little late to the game, but I remember it well. You never forget your first cell phone. Yeah, I know, 2003. I wasn't up with the times, but I got it then. And in the same shopping center, way before that, decades before, this used to be a music shop where I would get Ticketmaster tickets for concerts. Pre-internet. And I would hang out in there quite a bit, buy cassettes. CDs were happening at around that time, coming into fruition. And I would ask, what bands are coming to town? Because I couldn't look it up, I couldn't Google it. So I had to go up to the Ticketmaster computer and have the employees at the music shop right here in this clothing store, where this clothing store is. Certainly very simple to figure out that used to be a Pizza Hut. Man, that sky. That's no joke. Neither is this road. Some potholes. I'm gonna say at least 100 times for the course of the 20 plus years I was driving through Kissimmee back to St. Cloud when I lived here from the early 90s and on. I stopped at this Checkers, took this same route around the drive-through section. Usually this one was closed, was coned off. This one was the one that was always open. And I would pull through this very drive-through right here, pull up, order a Champ burger, a small fry, and a soda, sometimes 2 Champ burgers. That was my burger of choice. And then pull up to the end. This just recently closed. Even last time I was here a few months ago, it was open. And I did this very thing, but was able to pull away with food. This time, there will be no food tucked into my window. Pretty wild. Had some good memories, Checkers. You served me well all those years. This was the Kmart, that other Kmart I worked at. It's now a school of some sort. Ooh, lightning. This is also the parking lot I did my van dwelling video in. That's going to do it for today. If you're new here, please subscribe by doing so. Helps keep you in the loop and up to date on future uploads here on this channel. Take it a step further, ring that notification bell, and if you enjoyed this particular episode, give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know you care. I'll see you in the next video. It is coming down. The vlog is over. Oh, that was a good rumble.